I think it's truly the foundation. I'm thinking throughout your time in your life, you must have had some mentors or people that, that you would lean into, and maybe it comes out of a book, but tell me, what was a piece of advice that really had some impact for you, and how has it served you today?
Oh, that's a great question. The first thing that came to mind, there was a wise man I spoke to. He was a marriage counselor. And I asked him, I said, if you could tell people one thing, just one. He was a renowned marriage counselor. I said, but there would be one thing you could tell people that you think would help people in their relationships. What would it be? He said, you really want to know? I said, I do. This is what he said. He said, if people would realize that they choose their own feelings, other people don't choose them, that you're responsible and you choose your own feelings. And people don't think so. They think, well, he made me mad, or she made me mad, or she's the reason I'm miserable, or whatever it is. He goes, it's really not true. If people could realize that, if you're married, for example, you choose whether or not you're angry. You choose whether or not you're at peace. And even if your spouse does something that's triggering, you can still choose to feel otherwise. And it comes back to what you said, Alan, about that story, the story that's told. Like, okay, my wife is doing something that triggers me, perhaps. Is the story, my wife's a bad person and she knows better, and why is she doing this and I'm the victim? Or is the story, you know what, maybe my wife's having a bad day and I can be a little sensitive, or maybe there's some kind of something I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I can choose a story that's true and real, and not labeling and that kind of thing. So if people could realize that they can choose their own emotions and not blame them on something out there, that's powerful. As you said it, that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm sure there's other things we could talk about, but that came to mind, Alan.